part of the frequent video interviews and video podcasts that we conduct at World Construction today, we feel very fortunate to, keep in touch or, converse with people who've been doing some innovative and spectacular, massive, phenomenal feats across their industry lines. And to be very fortunate, we are today in front of someone who's actually going to be coming up with Light 2025, Helen. Helen Anchors is the program director of Light. And to start with, Helen, I would first like to ask you. I was going through your website and I saw the logo there. Um, the logo obviously happens to be all caps, except for the I, the second letter in it, and it has a small dot on top of it. So does that actually signify a torch?
That's a really good question, actually, Sushan. I wasn't actually involved in the design of the logo or the that initial logo that we now run with. But yeah, it is to sort of represent lighting and to represent that sort of the spotlight or a torchlight. It be interpreted however you feel. But yeah, well spotted.
Thank you so much, Helen. So you happen to be UK's only dedicated lighting specification exhibition.
Yes.
How different have you been in the past exhibitions that have already taken place, and what is it that is going to be making you stand out this year?
Yeah, so I think the main difference between events that have come before us is that we're a really, really focused show. We have run other exhibitions in the past, but what we've seen as an industry is shows will get to a certain point and then start expanding into bigger venues, bigger exhibition spaces, and they just become really overwhelming. They'll start running for longer days of time, which means the visitor numbers become more watered down and people start to sort of lose that energy and lose that interest as the week goes on. So I would say the main difference between ourselves and other shows that have come before us is that it is, it's condensed, it's 2 days, it's focused, it's at a venue that is very easy to navigate. So yeah, that's been the main difference so far. I would say, obviously, moving into this year's event, we've really expanded our offering in terms of the kind of exhibitors that we're bringing. So each year that's gone by, we've just the show has grown bigger and bigger and taking up more and more of the space. And as part of that, we're really looking to sort of enhance the features that are on offer as well. We don't just want to be your standard trade show that has just got, reams and reams of exhibitors. We want to offer a more diverse mix. We want to offer interest points. Lighting design is so creative and the design industry is full of creative people. We want to make sure that they get a full picture of what the industry can offer and new innovations, really.
So tangibility is something which obviously makes a lot of difference in the sector that you come from. Obviously, this exhibition, if you talk about particularly this exhibition, there would be a lot of tangible stuff there. There would be people coming in and experiencing it firsthand. So there would
Yeah.
be a lot of, that element that would come in picture.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So obviously, with all the exhibitors, there'll be a lot of product demonstrations going on stands, lots of sort of examples of sustainable materials that are being incorporated into their products and product design. Um, so yeah, there's definitely, from the exhibitors' point of view, they're all going to be sort of really active in that sense of making sure that, it's people can play with the fixtures, they can direct them, they can change the spots, they can play with sort of the some exhibitors even set up their stands as sort of like a situational experience. So they might have areas or corners of their exhibition stands that look more like a hospitality environment. So you can really see how the lighting can affect colour and furnishings and finishings and things like that and different materials. So yeah, that's definitely a big part of it.
And you mentioned about sustainability here.
Yes.
Sustainability, I mean, obviously, everybody wants to make sure that the carbon footprint gets reduced,
Yes.
right? Your take on that, and what steps would you be taking in this year's edition of Light?
Yeah, so again, a lot of our exhibitors tend to bring pre-made stands or stand designs that they've used at other exhibitions, or they will take them away and then take them onto new exhibitions. So we have a really strong focus on that side of it. We try to make sure we're as sustainable as we can. Obviously, it is a challenge. We're using a lot of power with it being a lighting show and things like that. Um, but again, just even down to simple things of the show guide that we produce isn't printed, it's a digital version and it's available to people. We send it out before the show. We try not to send it out too many times because obviously everything digital also does have a footprint. You can't get away from that. So it's really just sort of trying to take as many little steps as we can to make as much of a difference as we can. But I would say from an exhibition point of view, the main thing has to be it is the exhibitors and their commitment to using reusable and sustainable resources for building their stands.
Right. Uh, this year's edition is going to be featuring certain zones. There are various zones the exhibition is obviously divided into. If you can just throw some light on it.
Yeah, of course. So as the exhibition has grown, we've realised that while it is a small venue that is easy to navigate, almost it sometimes you do still need that direction and it can be a bit like can't see the wood for the trees. So we have separated the venue into three separate zones. So we have the architectural zone, the decorative zone, and the technical zone. And this is really just to give those visitors a better idea of the kind of brands that they can expect to see in those zones. So architectural would be your much more technical lighting. Obviously, everything is suited for commercial and high-end residential projects, any of the specification market. So architectural is much more technical lighting. Decorative, those are going to be products that have got, create more of that sort of decorative element in a project. So, it might be something from a company that's able to produce bespoke chandeliers or bespoke pendants to table lights and more office space kind of products, or things for sort of restaurants and bars, that kind of thing. And then you've got the technical area, which is more the components and the control side, the real nitty gritty side of the lighting specification. So really, it was just a way of us trying to organise everybody and making it as easy for visitors to navigate as they can.
Okay, I mean, you told me about the zone part, but obviously there are certain elements also that you would have considered. Uh, Speaking about the fact that this is a very young exhibition, you started
Yes.
in 22, and this is obviously going to be your fourth time this around. So, what makes you so different as compared to others when we talk about being so young?
Yes. I think it's how quickly we've grown.
Right.
Um, Even from the get-go, the support for the show has been phenomenal from the lighting industry and the brands
Right.
that have been involved. Obviously, year one, the entire ground floor was sold out, most of the gallery area. And then from year two onwards, it's just continued to grow at a really rapid speed, which has sort of highlighted to us how much the industry needed and wanted an event like this.
Okay.
Obviously, there are various other lighting events around the world, all with their strengths. But I think, the lighting design industry in particular is very concentrated in London. And it was just provides more of that community spirit in a way. It's 2 days, it's condensed. You've got all the major lighting brands in one space. You don't have to travel really far to see the latest, launches and everything like that. So yeah, I think yeah, that's really what makes us different. And that's, to be honest, it was surprising to us as well, like how quickly it did take off and how quickly people got behind it. Obviously, the event is run by we're a company called Dark Media. You can see behind me, we've got our magazine logos there. So we run magazines and we run other networking events as well. So we already have that following and that trust in our products and our brands established. So it's been really, really nice and really positive, like a positive experience to see the industry support us so much with it. So yeah, I think without repeating myself again, but yeah, the speed at which it's grown has been really incredible.
It's great to know that because I mean you conduct talks program as well. And is there a specific reason for that that you get into that domain or two?
Sorry, say that again.
I'm talking about the talks program which is
Oh, the
there.
talk program.
So is there a specific reason you are planning to conduct that as well?
Yeah, so again, as part of what we do at Dark Media, our editors are heavily involved in moderating talks at other events. We've run our own specific talk programs as part of other shows, extensions, and it's a really important part of what we do is informing and educating the wider design industry on the importance of lighting and how crucial that is to a design process. So it was a natural fit that we would also have a talks program at LiGHT. What we are constantly trying to do is invite people outside of lighting to get involved with our talks as well. So you'll see on this year's program, we've got a real mix of lighting designers, architects, engineers, client side as well, all with the view of anybody who's visiting that show is
Right.
educating them more on how they can best specify lighting, how they can get involved, how they can make a difference, what sustainability options are available. So yeah, it was a natural thing for us to include that.
And tell me something about the remote office space working.
Yeah,
This is quite interesting because obviously people coming in from all geographies, specific industries, they would be having certain loads of work that needs to be taken care of. So, was there a particular reason you wanted to introduce this part as well?
yeah. So this actually, this idea came from myself actually from
Okay.
visiting other trade shows as a member of the press. And what I found was that there was one particular show that I went to in the press area was incredible. It was great. It was like the office space was really nice. It was quiet. There was Wi-Fi. I could do my work as well as visit the show. And it got me thinking that there's always a press area or there's always a press room, but I'd never really sort of seen an open space that other people could access. So when we were sort of discussing ideas for our first show, I was like, wouldn't it be great if we could offer an area where people can pick up work tasks? Particularly with designers that we know of, it's really hard to get them out of the office and dedicate time to visit an event or a show. Everybody always has, thousands of everybody's got deadlines and so many emails to get through and things. So to then add a trade show into the mix, it's a bit like, well, when am I going to find the time? So yeah, we just thought we would try it and see what the response was, and everybody's loved it. I've seen people holding one-on-one meetings in the workspace and with people they've met at the show. I've seen people on Teams calls, Zoom meetings. We provide free Wi-Fi. You don't, it's just a dedicated area. You don't have to pay to use it. It's communal workspace area, so you can easily end up chatting to somebody new. So it's great for making new connections. Refreshments as well. We set up a free coffee area as well, so you can keep those energy levels up. But yeah, it was born from my own experience of trade shows and things that I've quite liked. And yeah, it seems to have worked really well. We've been really pleased with it so far. It's a great feature of the show, and it definitely does get utilised. So I'm glad we found space for it.
Fantastic. I mean, Helen, I was wondering because through exhibitions you set benchmarks, and I'm sure that through Light you must have already set one. This time around, again being the fourth edition, there would be a lot of talk about it. Tell us something about the marketing buzz of it. I mean, you've already started to market it on various.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, so the marketing around the show is really going to kick up again now that we get we're under 3 months away from the show. So we're really sort of pushing as much out as we can on LinkedIn. We're partnering with lots of different media outlets such as yourselves around the world to really sort of make sure that everybody, whether working in lighting or the wider design or engineering sectors, knows about the show, knows about what we can offer. It is a lighting dedicated show, but it isn't just for lighting designers. There's lots of other designers and specifiers can learn from the event. And yeah, that's really going to be our message over the next 3 months, is sort of really pushing that to people to, come and check it out. It's a free show to attend. All the talks are free to attend as well. We even do a late night opening on the first day. So if you can't make it during the day, you can pop in afterwards. That has a really friendly vibe to it. So yeah, it's really just the main message is it's while we are focused on lighting, please come and check it out and see what you might be able to learn from other designers or peers, really.
Good that you took that point out because in most of the exhibitions there is a particular time frame wherein the people have to come, they attend it, they probably mingle with people and they move out. But over here, I was going through your website and it's obviously written there that you have a time which is allocated beyond the working hours when people can
Yes.
come down and network, and obviously, things can probably, work out further. This is something which is very new, is it, Helen?
I have seen it done with a few other shows. In the UK. I'm trying to think of other experiences from other shows that I've seen, but yeah, maybe not so much outside of the UK, but maybe it's a British thing to do a late night social. Maybe it's part of our makeup. But yeah, we just thought again because it's really difficult sometimes for designers to get out of the office. So if it's something that they can call into on their way home or plan time aside for after those working hours are done, then yeah, why not? Why not stay up until 9 o'clock and make it accessible for everybody, no matter what their workload? And it does take on a more relaxed environment in the evening. So sometimes I think that more relaxed environment can create opportunities for more conversation. People might feel more comfortable asking certain questions or might feel, they've got more time to spend on a stand or speaking to new manufacturers and things. So yeah, I think it's worked so far for us, and we will continue while people want it.
And if I were to ask you, how about the participation? Obviously, there would be people coming in who've already advertised, who've already exhibited before with you in the past editions. But how about the fresh entrants?
Yeah.
To talk about the ratio, is it distributed equally?
No, so I would say we've got a really, really high rebook rate on the architectural lighting side, which is where the main focus was when we first started. And then as the interest has grown on the architectural lighting design side, we've garnered more interest from the decorative brands and then more technical components control side. So that's why we've then increased the space. So we have a whole hall dedicated to decorative brands now and a whole hall dedicated to more technical components companies. So yeah, I would say while we do have it's around a 90% rebook rate, we have got a lot of new exhibiting brands this year as well. I think we've got we're over the 200 mark now in terms of brands that are being represented at the show. And I think we are now sold out in the technical hall. I think there was like one stand left at the beginning of the week. So I'm sure our sales managers probably filled that by now. So yeah, I'm really excited to see like the different mix of brands and companies this year. It's going to be great.
And finally, if there is someone who's obviously looking out to be a part of it and would obviously want to be a part of Light 25 this time around, is there a particular message that could come across from the program director herself?
My main message was if you're wanting to exhibit at Light, then you need to give us a call and get on the waiting list. We have a big waiting list, but yeah, feel free to reach out to us and ask any questions that you might have if you're unsure about whether it's a show for you or not. Come down and visit us. We can always put you in touch with our sales manager who can walk you around the show. So you can sort of really get a feel for everything. But yeah, just have a chat with us and we'll see what we can do.
Just a call away, that's about it.
Exactly, yeah.
Post exhibition, I mean, obviously, this is a 2-day exhibition. Post when everything gets done, Is there a specific protocol that you follow as compared to others as far as the event culmination is concerned? So once that is done, you get to know whether what are the inquiries which have been generated, and is there anything specific that you want to talk about post the exhibition when it gets done?
In terms of with the exhibitors, you mean, or?
In terms of exhibitors as well as you, the organizer.
Yeah, so the main thing that we will be looking at the after the show is what sort of mix of visitors that we've received. We like I said, we have really strong ties with the lighting designers and interior designers, architects. With this new technical zone, we'll be looking at what sort of interest that's generated and who outside of that previous visitor breakdown is now coming to the show as well. So we'll be really keen to see who extra is coming and where that mix is coming from. From the manufacturer side, they obviously will have their agendas on who they're looking to attract to their stands, and they obviously can get the scanned data from the visitor badges and things like that. So yeah, I think that's going to be the main focus once this event is done, is to see how the new zones has changed the visitor profile.
And with already almost 14,000 visitors who've come and visited the exhibition in the past. You've got 200 brands which are already associated with you. I was, and obviously there've been 118 speakers. This time again, speakers who would talk about their own respective, domains and how they outlast others. I'm sure there's a lot of, lot to learn from the exhibition that you're going to be conducting. Though it is only for a couple of days, but I'm sure that in the times to come when the exhibition takes a further shape, the longevity of the exhibition would increase.
Yeah, so in terms of how many days that we might
Yeah,
run it for,
right.
yeah, I think the plan will be to stay to 2 days. Excuse me. Yeah, I think the plan will be to stay to 2 days, because the feedback that we do get from both manufacturers and visitors is that while it is short and sometimes you do wish for that third day, it's it makes it more sort of nothing gets watered down, so it doesn't feel like you're just filling time with content that you could condense. So generally the feedback has been really great that it's 2 days. I personally would like 3 days just for the talks program, because that is always a real tricky thing to try and fit in as much as you like, but it's we work with the time frame that we've got, and we really like get as much content in as we can. So yeah, the plan will be to stick with that for now.
And with someone who's obviously there as dedicated and thorough as you, Helen, I'm sure that this year's exhibition is going to outlast what you've done before. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was pleasure having Helen, on our
Thank you
show.
for having me. Thank
Uh,
you.
Hope we put in the right questions, and the kind of answers that we've received would surely add to our viewers' acumen. And we look forward to people participating, exhibitors participating in your exhibition, because obviously, as said, being a very young, fresh exhibition, there's so much to learn, and there's so
Yeah.
much experience that they gain out of it. So with this, I would conclude this video, Alan. Thank you so much for your time, and it was always it's a pleasure having you on board, and we
Yeah,
look
thank you for
forward
asking me as well. So yeah, I really appreciate the exposure that you're giving the show, and yeah, no, we appreciate the support. So thank you very much.
we obviously look forward to having you again in future.
Yeah, no problem
And
anytime.
we would obviously talk about that too. And once again, thanks a lot, Helen. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no worries. Thank you, Sushan. Nice to meet you.